Hi, I'm John Colin with Coaches Inc., and this is episode 3 of the Coaches Corner, courtesy of HoopDirt.com. I'm here with Gus Fraley, who currently serves as the Director of Basketball Operations at Tennessee Tech. Welcome, Gus.
How's it going, John?
It's going great. Hopefully you've had a chance to see the first 2 episodes, and you know how this little thing's going to go. I'll fire off a few questions, and you can kind of tell me what you think, and hopefully it gives you a chance to tell a little bit about yourself and maybe some advice you have for some of the people who are watching. So we'll jump right into it. I guess to start, why don't you tell us a little bit about your career to this point and how you got the coaching bug, just from the beginning to now.
Yeah, sure. And first off, John, thanks for having me. This is it's an honor to be on here with you. And
I don't know about
kind
that,
of,
thank you.
It absolutely is. And starting from the beginning, I got my first coaching job at Chapel Hill High School while I was still an undergrad at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Spent 4 years there under Todd Morgan, who was fantastic. I put Coach Morgan up there with anybody in the business. I mean, he is absolutely one of the best to do it, and wouldn't trade those 4 years for anything. And my last year of coaching there, I had a friend of mine I went to high school with who was an SID at Tennessee State,
Okay.
and Russell Luna, who is now at West Virginia as serving in the communication department. He called me, had me come over to the team hotel. Tennessee State was playing Carolina in the Dean Dome, and just to meet the coaches, say hello, spend some time, and that summer they had a potential opportunity there. He called me again and interviewed, and they brought me on, which was awesome. So that kind of got me started in college. Right. After 4 years on the high school level. And
okay.
Spent a year at Tennessee State, and this is finished up my 4th year at Tennessee Tech under Steve Payne, and here we are today talking. So that's kind of the short run of where I am, how I got my start.
Good deal. All right, so in the role of DBO, what are guys in your position wear a whole lot of hats. You have to do some coaching, a whole lot of administrative stuff, and really everything in between. So what are some of the things that you think you do really well to make your head coach's life easier?
Well, yeah, and for Coach Payne, a big part of my role is also the video coordinator, okay, as well as just coordinating travel. Making sure those 2 jobs are done, organized ahead of time in advance, just so there's not any issues or anything that comes up that takes away Coach Payne's attention from coaching basketball. I think first and foremost, you hear everybody talk about do your job. Make sure your job is handled first.
Yep. I
think knowing your strengths and weaknesses, no matter what position you're in, I know that I'm a people person, and I'd like to think I'm a good communicator, and staff chemistry and chemistry with our guys is very important to Coach Payne. I think I do a pretty decent job at that. Keep it light when it needs to be light. Mm-hmm. Bringing it to serious when it needs to get to that point. And I think one of the things I do for Coach Payne is just player relations. Nothing's more important to him than our players and making sure they're okay. And that's one thing I enjoy doing, and I think I'm good at. So, making sure I'm in constant contact with our players outside of the practice court, and making sure that there's a good line of communication between us and the players as a staff. So,
okay, great. Yeah, like I said, you wear a lot of hats. That's a whole lot of responsibility.
Absolutely.
What are some tips you might give to someone who's trying to break into the business in that role? Because I know it's often, the first opportunity some people get when it gets to the college level.
Yeah, and depending on where the young person is in their career, if they're a manager, which is outstanding, that they have a leg in already. So let's talk about, if you are a current manager or you're coming into college, you want to get involved, become a student manager. I mean, first and foremost. But while you're there, make sure, you're taking things off the operations guy's plate, the assistant coach's plate, if you're at a good place where they allow you to be involved like that. I know here, we let our managers, be as involved as they want to be. They'll help us out, sending out recruiting, PDFs and showing them how to do that, and just being in meetings. And if they want to be coaches and get a job after their 2 years or 3 years are up here, we're helping them. We teach them things they need to know, and that would be my big advice for young people is to try to get involved. Don't overstep. Take on what they allow you to take on, and just do a good job of what they give you. So, and that'd be the first and foremost thing I'd tell them to do.
Sure, that's great. Great advice in most walks of life is do as much as they'll let you do. Absolutely. Okay. Now, going beyond the role of DBO, a lot of guys who are in your position have the aspiration of at some point becoming an assistant coach on the road, and then eventually becoming a head coach. I know you feel that way. How do you prepare yourself for that opportunity while also making sure it doesn't affect your day-to-day duties and like you said, doing the job you currently have?
Absolutely. First, do your job. Make sure your duties are completed. Same thing I was telling about the young people. Don't overstep. I'm in a great situation here with Coach Payne, and he involves me in everything. He allows me to be in recruiting meetings. He communicates what's going on, what they're looking for. Our staff, phenomenal staff. They send me clips, ask my thoughts on players. Coach Payne I've been on the road for him on 2 separate occasions. We had a coach leave, and he didn't hesitate to give me an opportunity to coach the live period in July, back-to-back summers. So he's been fantastic in my development in that aspect.
Right.
It's not like that everywhere, So if you're at a situation to where they may not communicate with you, it may not let you get involved in the recruiting, I would just say don't overstep. Get involved where you can get involved, and build relationships outside your staff, and that's important. And I think that's just so important to me.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. That's obviously things we work on all the time. So, lastly, I know you have a role at the Rising Coaches Elite, Director of Membership and Relations, I believe is your position.
That's it. Yep.
I think that's a great resource for young coaches. I know you've told me a lot about it, but if anyone doesn't know about it, why don't you kind of talk about that and how guys can get involved and maybe the benefits of doing so?
Well, it started by 3 former managers who have all gone on to become Division I assistant coaches, and I got involved by paying and going, as a person just going to the clinic when it started in Vegas, and I built meaningful relationships with these guys. I never asked them for favors or stuff like that. Just always kept in touch, and then I started bringing managers and other people to the clinic we have every year, and it's just something I believe in, giving back to young people, especially managers who they make my job here so much easier at Tech that it's the least I can do to bring them at an event like that. And it's always around the 3rd live period. We will announce it on Twitter soon. Okay. It was in Indy last year. It's usually in Vegas, but it's not just for managers. Anybody that wants to break into the business and build some meaningful relationships, it's a must. You need to find a way to get to Rising Coaches Clinic and Conference in the summer. It's fantastic.
So I imagine guys can just reach out to you directly too if they're interested, right?
Oh, it is definitely. Email me. I'll give you my personal cell phone number if you do, and awesome. And we'd love to have you.
Okay, good stuff, man. Well, I appreciate you taking some time with us today. That was a lot of good information. And again, my name's John Colin. I work at Coaches Inc., and this was the Coach's Corner, and this was Gus Fraley at Tennessee Tech. Thanks again, Gus.
Hey, thanks for having me, John.
You got it.